We're so proud of the incredible educators in Chippewa Valley Schools. And today, we're excited to spotlight just 3 of them. Meet our 2025 Teachers of the Year. First up is Chelsea Ivaldi, our Elementary Teacher of the Year. Chelsea brings joy, creativity, and heart to her kindergarten classroom at Huron Elementary. Next, we'll head to Wyandotte Middle School to meet Jessica Lunar, our inspiring 6th grade teacher who's making a big impact with middle school minds. And finally, you'll hear from Ruth Moore Garcia, our High School Teacher of the Year, who's making math preparation for life at Chippewa Valley High School. What unites these amazing educators? A deep love of learning and an even deeper dedication to their students. Let's get started with Chelsea Ivaldi at Huron Elementary. I'm here with Chelsea Ivaldi. Chelsea is the Teacher of the Year at the elementary level at Chippewa Valley Schools. Congratulations, Chelsea. What do you think of that? What do you think of being Teacher of the Year?
I am extremely honored. I love teaching. I love Chippewa Valley Schools.
What does that mean to you to come through our system and now being a teacher here?
It shows me that, I was brought through my elementary career and middle school and high school with wonderful teachers. It shows me that I was surrounded by people who lifted me up and helped me make positive choices in my life. And that makes me a product of this community, and I hope to give back and do that for my students as well.
These are 3 of Mrs. Ivaldi's students. What is your first name?
Clara, Justin, Eliza.
So tell me a little bit about kindergarten. What kind of things do you do in kindergarten?
At the end of the day, we can have playtime.
Justin, what's your favorite thing to do in kindergarten?
I love playing outside.
What's your second favorite thing?
Playing outside for recess.
So your first thing that you like is playing outside, and your second thing is playing outside for recess. What kind of things do you learn here, Clara, in kindergarten?
We do some math and we do some work. My favorite thing was reading books.
What do you read?
Usually Dr. Seuss books. Do like some drawing, do some homework at my home. I like doing homework.
Tell me about Mrs. Ivaldi as a teacher.
When it's morning, we pick a thing what we want to do with her. We can give her a hug, chicken wing, wave, or a little dance. She's very kind to us.
What do you normally choose?
Hug.
What do you choose, Justin?
Hug. Hug.
What do you like about Mrs. Ivaldi, Emma? She's fun. She's a nice lady.
I started out doing teacher cadet in high school at Dakota High School, and I would go to Mrs. Taggart's 1st grade classroom, and I loved being back at Cheyenne Elementary where I went to school. And then I did some volunteer hours throughout Chippewa Valley to get into the teaching program at Oakland University. And then when I was at Oakland, we did a little petition so that I could student teach with Mrs. Taggart as well. And I got to student teach with Mrs. Taggart and Mrs. Trasco right next door, and it was a wonderful experience. I did a long term in 2nd grade at Cheyenne after that, and I did a couple of long terms the following year at Shawnee and Huron, and then I got hired at Huron, and I have found my home here. I love Huron Elementary, and I love kindergarten. Kindergarten is a wonderful age. It is the most exciting. They are so excited to learn. They want to be here. Their minds are blossoming. They take in all of this new information, and they come in not knowing a whole lot, and they're reading by the end of kindergarten. They might leave me after kindergarten, but they're still my kids. I like watching them grow, and I've met so many wonderful people here at Huron, and I have created wonderful friendships, and people here are different. It really is like a family. This is a job that your heart has to be involved. You have to get to know your kids. They have their own little backgrounds and their own little lives, and they are not just a number, and they're not just a person in front of you. They have a whole story, and you have to build those connections and be ready to feel all the feels, because you spend a great portion of their day with them, and you are an impact.
Okay, I'm at Wyandotte, of course, and I'm with our middle school teacher of the year. This is Miss Jessica Luner. First, I just want to know a little bit about your career in teaching. So if you could start there and kind of tell us where you started and how you ended up here and that kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. So from the very beginning, I graduated from Central and I actually did my student teaching in Chippewa. So I was at Sequoia for second grade, loved second grade. I did a couple long terms within the district, and then I actually worked at Cherokee for a little bit as a math and reading interventionist. Loved it there. I loved working with kindergarten through 5th grade. And I was putting out my applications all over, and I got a job in Ypsilanti teaching 7th grade ELA and science. When I was at Central, I worked with freshmen, orientation and stuff like that, really helping students get acclimated. So I really like that middle school experience. It can be a challenging time for a lot of students and a scary time, and I like to kind of be maybe a positive light throughout the day that they can come to it as a trusted adult. Something that's really important to me with teaching is being able to have a positive impact on others in any profession, honestly. But with teaching, I have 150 students, so I'm able every day to try to have a positive impact on many people, and that's what's most important thing to me. The fact that teaching has so many opportunities for that is really wonderful. A little bit like behind scenes, I work with school improvement for Wyandotte. I've also helped with our middle school restructuring of electives, planning for those. I've worked in our culturally unbiased educator series for training. And then I also have worked with running our very first broadcasting club after school in Wyandotte, and we bring student news to the school. I love that middle schoolers are really active. We do lots of engaging hands-on things to kind of keep them motivated, keep them engaged.
Okay, I'm at Wyandotte Middle School this morning, and I'm with 2 6th graders. I'm with
Gwen.
And Riley.
What do you like about science?
I just like how interesting it is, like figuring out like new elements and stuff like that.
But what is about Miss Luner you think makes her a good teacher?
When I'm in her class, I always understand new stuff.
She's also very kind, and she like gives constructive criticism. So like if you ask a question, she'll like tell you how to do it right, or like if you get something wrong.
She's fun. We do a lot of experiments with her.
She always does it like fun and exciting ways.
She gets to know more about us, and it's just like fun to talk to more people about it.
What would you say to another a 5th grader about who's coming up to Wyandotte about having Miss Luner for a teacher?
Science is going to be fun, really fun.
Don't worry, because her class is easy, her class is easier to understand, and science is fun.
I'm at Chippewa Valley High School this morning. I'm on the 2nd floor, and I'm here with Ms. Ruth Moore. Just talk a little bit about your career.
This is my 23rd year of teaching. I've taught various math courses over the years. I've had Applied 1, Algebra, Geometry, Algebra 2, and Trig. I now have the pleasure of teaching Personal Finance, which is the most amazing class. I can have credit unions come in and talk to them about real life stuff, and these are seniors, so most of them are going off into the real world, and it's good information, credit scores and loans and cars and renting and buying. I had parents that kind of helped me out, but just the things that I'm teaching to them, I feel like is beneficial to everybody. We're talking about just even overtime and fringe benefits and just things that aren't really discussed, just insurance policies, and we get into checking accounts and savings accounts, and I bring in a financial advisor to talk about investments and stuff. I mean, it's a very just all over the place how to be a successful adult.
What kind of things do you do to connect with your students? So there's just not walking in talking to some person, it's just talking at them.
I greet them and I walk up and down the aisles and see how they're doing, ask them questions, how's this, how's that, do you have a job? And also you get to know them a little bit more in this class, because you talk about jobs, you talk about what do you do, what are you going, and just little things like that. And also I think it's nice that they're seniors because they're a little more adults. You can talk about jobs, you can talk about spring break, colleges.
This is
Mackenzie.
Allison.
What's the most interesting thing you learned in your finance class?
I really enjoy learning about like housing and credit cards. We learned kind of how it's kind of recommended to like start as like a young person, like when you can open one at 18.
I learned a lot about the real world, and because of me being a senior, that's really helpful because I'm gonna go out and buy a car, get an apartment, and Miss Moore really, goes in depth about what we need to know.
Seeing how much taxes are being taken out of your paycheck and how much just in general your gross income and how much is actually being sent out.
Talk about Ms. Moore as a teacher.
I really love Miss Moore as a teacher. Like, I think she's one of the best math teachers I've ever had. I always struggle with math a lot because I have a lot of communication issues, but she's made math really easy for me. I've actually gotten all A's on the test I've taken in her class, and that's a first for me in a really long time.
I just really like how she runs her classroom because it's very just kind of calm. She always keeps like a kind of a relaxed kind of like vibe going on, and I just really enjoy how she teaches.
She's such a positive person, coming in every day, greeting everybody. And even when teaching the curriculum, she's always open for any questions to be asked, any problems. Every Friday she has a candy basket that she always greets people with at the door.
She's really kind and compassionate, and what I like about her is that she individually goes to every student and asks, while we're working on this, and she asks, like, are you okay? Do you understand this? And I think that's really kind of her.
What kind of things are you involved in outside of just your classroom?
Well, this is my 19th year running the National Honor Society. So obviously with that, I'm working with some kids who are interested in volunteering and services. So we've done a lot for our school district in terms of tutors, providing them for elementary and middle schools when they have their homework help clubs, donations. Every year they make these fleece tie blankets. We got like about 400 of them a year for the last over a decade, and we donate them across all over Macomb County. I'm collecting sports equipment for kids who may not have sports equipment at home. Also, I talk about my muscular dystrophy camp that I've been doing for 26 years. It's my 26th year doing that. I have a couple kids that signed up, a couple seniors that are volunteered to be a counselor for a week at muscular dystrophy camp at the end of June. We do teens in need. I get donations for food and all that kind of stuff for them. And I think that's why we exist, is to give back and be nice humans. And it's nice to be a part of that and get them involved. This has been one of the best years I've had. They're very nice and respectful, and I appreciate them. And again, I think it's a lot like it's a two-way street. You treat them with respect, they're going to treat you with respect, and they notice that.
Kids are good, aren't they?
Kids are good.
Yeah, kids are good. Okay, and we'll end right there.